गुरुरेव गतिर्गुरुमेव भजे गुरुनैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे न गुरोः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोर्मतिरस्ति गुरौ मम पाहि गुरु ब्रवीमि संस्कृतं वाच ध्यायामि संस्कृतं हृदा कुर्वे सेवाञ्च कायेन वन्दे संस्कृतमातरं यो नरः संस्कृतव्योम्नि ह्यालयं रमते मुदा संस्कृतिं चैव संस्कारं विन्दते नात्र संशयः। स्वागतम्। 19तम अभ्यासः अस्ति। अस्मिन् अभ्यासे संस्कृत वाङ्मय परिचयः पुराणानि शास्त्रग्रन्थः समयः. So the last bit of lesson 3, which was covered on Puranas, the Shastra Granthas, which is very important. It comes a lot of times in match the following, or it can come and fill in the blanks for 1 mark answers also. And time is usually a 5, sometimes 10 mark question, but it is also another certain question in your exam. Numbers and time are very important as far as your Pravesha exam is concerned. It is also very important as far as your as far as the understanding of Sanskrit Bhasha and application of Sanskrit Bhasha in writing, in reading, in conversation. Numbers and time will always be helpful. So let's move forward. संस्कृत वाङ्मय परिचयः पुराणानि. प्रश्नः अस्ति मुख्य पुराणानि कति तानि कानि. So what are the main Puranas and list the names of the Puranas. So let's see who we have today. And Maryji, I've requested you to unmute. I am not able to hear you. And Maryji, I'm not able to hear you. Are you speaking something? Okay, let's move forward. We'll come back to the Lakshmi Rama Subramanian.
Namaste.
Namaste. And Maryji, if in case you resolve your technical issue, then you may kindly raise your hand again. Yes. Would you like to attempt this question, please? Could you be a little louder, Bhagini? I'm not able to hear you very clearly.
Mukhya Puranani Ashtadasha Santi. Can you hear me now?
Yes, a little more louder, but yes, I can hear you.
Ashtadasha Puranani Santi. A little?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Tani Matsya Puranam, Markandeya Puranam, Bhagavat Puranam, Bhavishyat Puranam, Brahmanda Puranam, Brahma Vaitartha Puranam, Brahma Puranam, Vamana Puranam, Varaha Puranam, Vishnu Puranam, Vayu Puranam, Agni Puranam, Narada Puranam, Padma Puranam, Linga Puranam, Garuda Puranam, Kurma Puranam, Skanda Puranam cha.
Samyak. So I think there's a typing error in the last PPT that was shared. It has to be Skanda Puranam as far as your textbook goes. In your textbook, it is written as Skanda, right? I was just looking at the textbook. So in your textbook, where is the section? So if you look at 18, at page number 54 in your textbook, it says Skanda Puranam. So I think it will have to be Skanda Puranam. Okay, and Maryji will come. I'll call you next then. Dhanyavadaha Lakshmi ji. Kindly mute yourself, please. So there was one little thing that we had to do, before which let me just show the Ashtadasha Mahapuranani Santi. Now please note, they are calling it as Mahapuranas or Mukhya Puranas, which means these are the main Puranas. There are also Upapuranas, and they are quite a few in number. But what we are learning at Pravesha is only the Mahapuranas or the Mukhya Puranas. Okay, so it's not that these are the only Puranas. There are other Puranas also that have been written. So Matsya Puranam, Markandeya Puranam, Bhagavat Puranam, Bhavishyat Puranam, Brahmanda Puranam, Brahma Vaivarta Puranam, Brahma Puranam, Vamana Puranam, Varaha Puranam, Vishnu Puranam, Vayu Puranam, Agni Puranam, Narada Puranam, Padma Puranam, Linga Puranam, Garuda Puranam, Kurma Puranam, Skanda Puranam. Now there was one little thing that was missed out. We will just cover that. There was the shloka on remembering the Puranas, which is there in your textbook. So I just thought I'll quickly go through that. Would anyone like to do the Anucharanam after me? Yeah, Geeta ji, would you like to do the Anucharanam?
Namaskaraha.
Namaskaraha. So I'll just read it out, and I would request you to do the Anucharanam after me twice. Okay? Madvayam bhadvayam chaiva bratrayam vachatuštayam.
Madvayam bhadvayam chaiva bratrayam vachatuštayam. Madvayam bhadvayam chaiva bratrayam vachatuštayam.
Anapalinga kuskani Puranani prachakshate.
Anapalinga kuskani Puranani prachakshate. Anapalinga kuskani Puranani prachakshate.
Samyak. Dhanyavadaha Geeta Bhagini.
Dhanyavadaha.
Kindly mute yourself. I will call somebody else to do the entire Anucharanam also. I think my system is having a problem. 1 second. Yeah. M. Satyavani ji.
Namaskar.
Namaskara. I will read the shloka once again completely, and I would request you to repeat it after me 2 times.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll first read out the entire one, and then I request you to repeat it.
Okay.
Madvayam bhadvayam chaiva bratrayam vachatuštayam anapalinga kuskani puranani prachakshate.
Madvayam bhadvayam chaiva bratrayam vachatuštayam anapalinga kuskani puranani prachakshate. Madvayam bhadvayam chaiva bratrayam vachatuštayam anapalinga kuskani puranani prachakshate.
Samyak. Va chatuštayam. Punarekavaram vadati va?
Madvayam bhadvayam.
No, only this word. Only this word. Va chatuštayam.
Vachatuštayam.
Chatuštayam.
Chatuštayam.
Sakara should not come.
Okay.
It should be chatuštayam. You see the alphabets, it's a
Yeah,
sh
sure.
and a ta. So shta. So chatuštayam.
Chatuštayam.
Shtayam.
Shtayam.
Shtayam. So you can practice this pronunciation, it will help you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Dhanyavad. Kindly mute yourself, Satyavani ji.
Yes.
So what does this say? Ma dvayam, which means there are 2 Puranas which are starting from Makara. Ma. Which are the 2? Matsya Puranam, Markandeya Puranam. They start from ma. So in case you find it very difficult to remember all the names of the 18 Puranas, which happens, which is very normal, then this shloka will help you. So what does it say? Ma dvayam. There are 2 Puranas starting with Makara. They are Matsya Puranam and Markandeya Puranam. Bhadvayam. So 2 Puranas start from Bhakara. They are Bhagavata Puranam, Bhavishyat Puranam. So Bhagavata Puranam, Bhavishyat Puranam, Cha, then Bratrayam. So Cha and Eva becomes Chaiva. Okay. Bratrayam. So there are 3 Puranas which are starting from Bra. They are Brahma Puranam, Brahma Vaivarta Puranam, and Brahmanda Puranam. Okay. Brahma Puranam, Brahma Vaivarta Puranam, and Brahmanda Puranam start from Bra. Then what it says, yeah, Cha and Eva becomes Chaiva. That's a Sandhi Karyam which you will learn in Parichaya. Don't worry too much about it. Then Chatushtayam, which means there are 4 Puranas which start from Vakara. These are Vamana Puranam, Varaha Puranam, Vishnu Puranam, Vayu Puranam. So, Va 4. So, Ma 2, Bha 2, Bra 3, Va 4. Then, all of these are single. So, A is for Agni Puranam, Na is for Narada Puranam, okay? Pa is for Padma Puranam. So, I believe there was a question whether it is Padma. So, if you look at the shlokam itself, you get a clue. It is Pa, Anapa Linga Kuskani. It's not written as Pa. So, it would, logically, it seems to be that it will be Padma Puranam. Ling, actually, Ling, this Nga becomes a Anuswara. That's why it is written as Anuswara here. Ling is Linga Puranam. Ga is Garuda Puranam. Pu is Kurma Puranam. Ska is Skanda Puranam. Okay. Puranani Prachakshate. Okay. So these are known as Puranas. So the word Prachakshate is a verb. It's a Kriya Padam here, which is in present tense. Vartamana Kala. So it is an Atmanepadi Kriya Padam. You have learnt about Atmanepadi in lesson 3 and we've also done exercises. So this is like Vandate Prachakshate. Okay. That is the shloka. If anybody has any doubts in the shloka, please raise your hands or put it in the Q&A. That will help. Yeah. So this one thing we had missed out, so I thought I'll just cover it. There is also a little bit on time, which we'll see and we'll try to answer. If you have any queries, kindly put it in the Q&A, because I will presume that the hands are raised for answering the Abhyasa. Now we move on to Shastra Granthaha, very important. Definitely some bit will be covered in the exam, either as a fill in the blank or as a 1-mark answer, or as match the following also sometimes. Okay. Sanyojayata. So that is why we've just put it as match the following, so that you get a sense of how to do the matching. Okay. Sometimes it will be the Shastram and then the Shastra Grantha. What we have done here is we put the Shastra Grantha and the Granthakara's names, and we have put it as a Prachakshate, Puranani Prachakshate. It is not Prachakshante because we say, right? So, therefore, it is an Ekavachana. The default is Ekavachana. Okay? Prachakshante is not really required. And another reason why it would not be written as Prachakshante Sandeep Mahoday is because there will be a Chando Bhanga. So, this is, if you look at the shloka, it is set in Anushtup Chandas. So, there are certain rules about Chandas as to what should be a Lagu and what should be a Guru, etc. Not get into it. It's a little, it's not for Pravesha course teaching, but sometimes for Chandas also they would write it. And this is known as Puranas, so that's fine. Yeah. So yeah, that question is answered. So I shall dismiss it. Yeah. So let's look at match the following. Okay. Tantra Vartikam is the first one. So each one can kind of attempt a three, or I think 2 or 3. I think there are 3. Yeah. So each of you can attempt 3, so we can move forward quickly. Geetaji, I'd request you to keep your hands lower so that I don't get confused. Satyavani ji, also please keep your hands lower. I will be asking people who have not answered so far. Chaya ji. Chaya Vaidya.
Yes, Hari Om.
Hari Om. So I'll also lower your hand. Yeah. Tantra
Yeah.
Vartikam is written by?
Tantra Vartikam is Kumarila
Vartikam, no,
Bhattaha.
Vartikam.
Sorry, Tantra Vartikam is Kumarila Bhattaha.
Kumarila Bhattaha. Kumarila Bhattaha. Next one, Nyaya Sutrani.
Nyaya Sutrani is Gautamaha.
Gautamaha. You've memorized it?
No, I'm looking. I've
Awesome.
written it down.
Awesome.
written it
If
down.
you will eventually have to memorize it for the exam.
I know. It's very difficult to memorize. I'm trying.
I know. This is tough. But see, the interesting thing is all these things will come as short notes by the time you reach Kovida. On each of these, you'll have a short note. Dhvanya Lokaha. This is the first one. Important. This comes very often in the exam. Dhvanya Lokaha.
Dhvanya Lokaha Ananda Vardhanaha.
Dhvanya Lokaha. Akara asti.
Dhvanya Lokaha Ananda Vardhanaha.
Samyak. Dhanyavadaha. Kindly mute yourself. Yeah, Vatsalaji, you need to raise your hand so that you get a chance to answer, and we will be calling you out in sequence. So I think this is a standard practice that we have. By now you would know about it. Mansi ji, Mansi Devnath.
Namaste.
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 Yeah, 1 second. Vatsalaji, you haven't raised your hand, so I won't be able to call you. Siddhanta Kaumudi.
Bhattoji Dikshitah.
Samyak. Bhattoji Dikshitah. Next one. Tattva Chintamani.
Tattvachi Ganeshopadhyayah.
Samyak. Ganeshopadhyayah. Sahitya Darpanam.
Sahitya Vishwanatha.
Vishwanatha. Samyak. Kindly mute yourself, please.
Thank you.
Vatsalaji, you could try. No, your audio will not respond now. Your audio will not respond now. It will be you will be able to activate your audio only when you're called out. I mean, these are standard practices right now, right? So you would know the rules by now, I think. Kindly mute yourself, Mansiji. Next one. Sarita Garg. Sarita Garg.
Namaskara ji.
Namaskar. Vadati va? Nyaya Manjari.
Jayant Bhattaha.
Jayanta Bhattaha. Next one.
Ras Gangadhara.
Rasa Gangadharaha.
Jagannatha.
Jagannatha. Rasa Gangadharaha. Ucharanam kinchit samyak bhavati.
Gangadharaha.
Rasa Gangadharaha.
Yeah.
Could you repeat that?
Ras Gangadharaha.
Because you can't bring the influence of Hindi into the Sanskrit pronunciation.
Yeah.
Because when you say ras, it is ra. This is ras.
Yeah.
There's a halanta below it. This is ras.
Rasa. Yeah.
This is rasa. So you have to be clear because the meaning will change.
Yeah. Okay.
One stroke below will change the meaning, which is why we are kind of a little insistent on the pronunciations. One more, the last one. Mahabhashyam.
Mahabhashya Patanjali.
Patanjali. Samyak. Dhanyavadaha. Kindly mute yourself, please.
Namaskar.
Namaste. Moving forward, Alankara Shastre Mukhya Granthaha Ke Kaihi Kachitaha. So this is another way. Kindly mute yourself, Sarita ji. So So which are this is another way in which questions may be asked. This could be a 1-mark answer. Okay. Name the main granthas in Alankara Shastra and who are the authors. So let's move forward and see. Sitaraman Subramanya.
Namo Namaha.
Namo Namaha. Vadati va?
Alankara Shastre Mukhya Grantaha Advanya Lokaha Rasagangadha Sahitya Darpanam Cha Taihi Rachayataha Santi Anandavardhanaha Jagannathaha Vishwanathaha Kramashaha Cha.
Vishwanathaha, I think atra Tankana Doshaha asti. I will just get that corrected. Vishwanatha. So you can write it as individuals. Ideally, put the author's name along with the grantha name, because that will become easier for you to memorize. So that's one tip I would give you, that when you are writing in the answer, or even when you're studying, you learn the author's title, author name along with the rachana. That will be easier. Okay. Dhanyavadaha, Mahoday. Kindly mute yourself, please. To the next question. Tarka Shastra. So our question is, Tarka Shastri Mukhya Granthaha ke te kaihi rachitaha, who have written them. And Mary ji?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
My mic was working, but I don't know why you could not hear.
Sometimes, yeah, it happens sometimes. Yeah. So would you like to answer this, please?
Tarka Shastram. Okay. Nyaya Sutrani Gautamaha. Nyaya Manjari Jayanta Bhattaha. Chintamanihi Ganesha Shopadhyayah.
Ganesha plus Upadhyaya becomes Ganeshopadhyayah.
Ganeshopadhyayah.
See, if you look at the spelling, it's easier. Ganeshopadhyayah. Ganeshopadhyayah. Right. Dhanyavada.
May I say something?
Yes, please. Yes.
It is quite difficult to remember. I searched the books on the net, but they are only in Sanskrit, so it was very difficult to stuff them in the head.
I know. I was totally, this was the most difficult section in the entire Pravesha exam for me also.
For you too.
Because I just couldn't remember.
Thank you for telling us.
So don't feel, you're not alone. What can probably help is, you try to put some mnemonics, or, you try to put some kind of a clue. I don't know, whatever works. See, Nyaya, Tarka means what? I'll give you one clue. When you say Alankara, it is decoration.
Yes.
The word Alankara means decoration. So it is obviously about how well a composition is kind of structured. So certainly that's got something to do with poetry and, the kavyam bit, the padyam bit. So there, then you can say, so rasa is also that. When you say navarasa, in terms of acting, you have navarasas, right? The 9. So if you see the visual arts were very structured. There was a whole lot of research done in ancient India. So you had these navarasas, which were the 9 emotions that any actor had to master to be able to perform on stage. Obviously, you didn't have the movies, so everything was performed on stage. So that you could keep as a clue that certainly it's about the fine arts. Navarasa. So based on that, you say Rasa Gangadhar, okay. It's got something to do with Alankara Shastra and not grammar or something else. Okay. Sahitya Darpanam. See, Darpana is mirror. The word Darpana means mirror. So when you say Sahitya, Sahitya is obviously literature. So definitely it is Alankara Shastra.
Oh,
So that's
I
one
thought
way
it
of,
was-
kind of making a logical connection between the names and the Shastra. That's one thing. Vyakarana Shastra, I mean, because it's my subject, Ashtadhyayi, Siddhartha Kaumudi and Mahabhashyam, I just happen to know it.
This is easy.
But Panini and Patanjali usually go together.
Yeah,
So
these
that's
are
one
easy.
logic.
Yeah.
Tarka means logic. So
Yeah.
obviously, when you say logic, it is referring to the way society needs to conduct itself, in a very logical and sensible manner. So Nyaya means rules, right?
Yeah.
Nyaya refers to the regulations or the laws of the land, etc., etc. So Tarka and Nyaya will go together. So therefore, Nyaya Sutrani and Nyaya Manjari should go together. And Rishi Gautama is actually very, very well known. There are a whole lot of things he's written. So in that sense, Rishi Gautama is famous. Ganesh Upadhyaya and Jayant Bhatt is a challenge. So what I used to do is Chintamani is another name for Ganesha. The Lord Ganesha, Ganapati is also called as Chintamani.
Okay.
So I associated Chintamani with Ganesha, and therefore Tatra Chintamani is written by Ganesh Upadhyaya. So
This is great.
that's one way. I mean, I'm just sharing my experiences. If it helps, fine. If you can find some other way of, connecting the Shastra and the thing, please go ahead and share it with your classmates. They will all benefit. And if you look at Purva Mimamsa, see, Jaimini Sutrani is written by Jaimini. It's very clear.
Yes.
Then Sutra itself has the name of the author. Same way, Shabara Bhashyam, also Shabarasya idam Shabaram. So obviously, Shabara Swami has written Shabara Bhashyam. So those two are pretty much very closely connected. You can't really miss it out. Then the only one is Tantra Vartikam Kumarila Bhatt is a bit of a challenge, but you know
What
that
is
it falls in that same.
What is Tantra Vartikam?
Tantra. One second.
Tantra is
No,
instrument.
Vartikam. See, okay, let me just give you a little brief. Usually what happens is, if you look at any Shastra, or if you look at any Vedas, the way things are written, okay, the initial, like even in the Vedas, if you see, or even if you look at Vyakarana Shastra, which I'm a little familiar, though not much. So you have sutras. Sutras are usually very concise and very cryptic, because there are 6 lakshanas for any sutra, and brevity is very, very important. Okay, no unnecessary words. So sutras are usually very small and very cryptic. So following the sutras, okay, what happens is you can't really cover the Shastram entirely in sutras. So after the sutras are written, there would be somebody else who would write the one-line commentaries on the sutras.
Oh.
Those one-line commentaries are called Vartikas or Vartikams.
Yes.
So
like
Varta means to speak. So somebody has commented on it. That's why it's called Vartikam. Okay?
Yes.
These would be maybe 1 or 2 lines elaborating on the meaning of the sutra. After the Vartikams, you would have the Mahabhashyams, which would run into pages. So explaining one sutra would need elaboration running into many, many pages. Those are called bhashyams. So you have bhashyams, and then when it is really a very in-depth shastras, you would have mahabhashyams. So Sutram, Vartikam, Mahabhashyam, this is usually the sequence in which any shastram is studied. So just by learning the sutra alone, one cannot claim that one has learned the shastram. Just by learning the Vartika alone, also one. So to get a 360-degree view of any Shastra, a student would really get into the Mahabhashya level, which would take a minimum of 16 years.
Wow.
So this is like post-graduation, you know. So in the olden days, when they would get into the Pathasala, you would have the, say, you know, up to class 10 you had. So high school. So you would learn little poems, songs, you would start speaking in Sanskrit, you would start memorizing. So Veda, memorization of the Vedas, memorization of various sutras, yoga sutras, the Vyakarana sutras, or memorizing the lakshanas of various chandas, that is done when the kid is like, you know, in primary school or something like that. Middle school. Because that coincides with the age of the student, where the brain is kind of really able to put things quickly into the long-term memory. Understanding what these sutras mean, I mean, when we were small and when we learned nursery rhymes, we really didn't know. A 3-year-old really doesn't know the meaning of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. But you don't forget it till death. That's how the human brain works. So that used to be done. And by the time the student gets into high school, he or she, please mark my words, because when girls went to Pathasala, they were also educated. They chose what they wanted to specialize in. And then they went into this level of Vartikas and Mahabhashyas. So usually that's the sequence. Yeah, we've digressed a little bit, but I just thought I'll share this with you. If in case it helps you remember, why not? Thank you, Anne-Marie ji. Can we mute yourself? We'll move to the next question.
Thank you so much. It was great. Thank you.
WhatsApp group number, you will have to send me a mail and I will send it. Does Vartikam means explanation of the sutras? Yes, Vatsalaji. Vartikam would be a brief explanation of the sutras. It will not be an elaborate explanation. In many shastras, and have the Vartikam separate. Okay, I think I have a problem with my internet. If in case I get locked, if I exit from the meeting, just give me some time to come back in. Okay, let's move to the next one. Okay, sorry. What is Uttara Mimamsa also known as? Sorry. Let's see who will answer it. Dr. Vijayalakshmi, Dr. U.B. Vijayalakshmi.
Ram Bhagini.
Ram.
Uttara Mimamsa is also known as Vedanta Shastram.
Yes. So, Uttara Mimamsa Shastrasya Aparanama Vedanta Shastram. Request you to also attempt the next one. Brahma Sutranam Rachayita Kaha.
Author of Brahma Sutra is Badarayanaha.
Badarayanaha is also known as Vyasa. Veda Vyasa is also, it's another name of Veda Vyasa is what they say. Badarayana is the right answer. Sorry, very sorry. Kindly mute yourself, Mahoday. So now, before we move to the concept of Samayaha, I believe a lot of you had certain conceptual difficulties. There were certain things which you found a little difficult, a little confusing. So I just thought I'll give a little bit of extra pointers, which Brindaji had asked me to cover in today's class. So which is why I'm just giving you a few points which will kind of help you understand how time has to be read. Okay. And then I'll also kind of give you why there is a little bit of a challenge. Okay. So when you look at Samayaha, apart from whatever you learned in the class, okay, there are certain terminologies that if you remember, it will help you. Okay. So first is we have 12 hours. So let us first learn all the 12 hours in one shot. So I would request somebody to do the Anucharanam after me. Let me see who's raised hands. Yeah. Lakshmi Jayaraman.
Namaste, madam.
Namaste. So I will kind of read out the time and I would request you to do the Anucharanam twice after me. Would that be fine?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just read out 6 R's together. Ekavadanam, Dvivadanam, Trivadanam, Chaturvadanam, Panchavadanam, Shadvadanam. Could you repeat that?
एकवादनं द्विवादनं त्रिवादनं चतुर्वादनं पञ्चवादनं षट्वादनं
Shadvadanam.
षड्वादनं
Once more.
षड्वादनं एकवादनं द्विवादनं त्रिवादनं चतुर्वादनं पञ्चवादनं षड्वादनं.
So Dvivadanam, no, it is Dvivadanam. It is a Hraswa Ikara.
द्विवादनं.
So yeah, because it should not sound like an in-between one, which is why I requested. Yeah. Next set also. Saptavadanam, Ashtavadanam, Navavadanam, Dashavadanam, Ekadashavadanam, Dwadashavadanam.
सप्तवादनं अष्टवादनं नववादनं दशवादनं एकादशवादनं द्वादशवादनं.
Samyak. Once more.
सप्तवादनं अष्टवादनं नववादनं दशवादनं एकादशवादनं द्वादशवादनं.
Samyak. Kindly mute yourself, Lakshmi ji.
Thank you.
I'll just move on to a little bit of explanation. Yeah. So, these are the terminologies that, if you remember, it will help you. Okay. Pada means quarter. Pada. Okay. Quarter. In Hindi, we say pav. Comes from pada. Okay. So, if pada is quarter, sapada is quarter past. Padena saha. So, quarter plus something. Additional. So, a quarter added to something. In time, we would put it as quarter past. In English also, we say that. Quarter past 10 means 10:15. Okay. So, pada is quarter. Sapada means quarter past. Una means less. Una is the word for less. So, pada plus una becomes padona. There is a sandhi karyam which you will learn in Parichaya. I'm not getting into what that sandhi is, but pada plus una is padona. Padona means quarter less than. Una means less than. Pada means quarter. So padona means pada plus una. Padona means quarter less than. Correct? So in time, how would we put it? Quarter less than is not how we say it in English. You would say quarter to. Quarter to 10 is 9:45. Quarter to 3 means 2:45. Okay. So pada, sapada. Una, padona. Clear? Then ardha. Okay. Half past. How does this word come? Ardha means half. Sa ardha, like sapada, means quarter and something, right? Something and a quarter. You're adding quarter to it. Same way, sardha means half past. Okay. 1 second. Adhika means more than. Adhika we all know. Those of you who know Hindi would know adhika. In South Indian languages also you have adhika. Adhigamana you say in Tamil. So adhika is there in most Indian languages. Adhika means excess. Adhika means additionally. So adhika has many meanings. Usually the meaning is more than, in excess, or plus something. So here it would mean that many minutes past. So if you say dashadhika Saptavadanam, it means 10 minutes more than 7 o'clock. Means what? 7:10. Okay. So Sardha is half past. For other minutes, so Sardha is only for the half an hour slot. But if you have other minutes, then you can't say sa something. You will have to say adhika. So you will mention the minutes and you will mention adhika, and then you will mention the time, whatever, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, etc., etc. Okay. For example, 10 minutes past 11 o'clock would be Dashadhika, 10 minutes more, right? So Dashadhika, 11 o'clock is Ekadasha Vadanam. Kindly everybody mute yourselves. So it would be Dashadhika Eka Vadanam. Okay. This is how time is written. Any confusion in this? Please put it in the Q&A. If anybody has any confusion, anything that's not clear or not understood, please put it in the Q&A. Yeah. In book, page 30, so Padma ji has written, in book page 31, numbers Ekam De Tirini Chatwari, but yes, Padma ji, it changes at this point of time. Kindly remember it as it is. Don't look at the logic as to why it has changed, because it is really too early to explain the logic. By the time you reach Kovida, you will understand why that change happens. Yeah, so we will not cover it right now. In fact, Parichaya itself, when you learn ordinals, you'll understand why that happens. At this point of time, I would request that all of you just memorize it as it is. So it will not be dve, it is dvi. There is a reason why it is dvi. We will come to it maybe a little more later. By the time you finish vibhaktis and come to a certain level, we'll try to revisit that. Otherwise, we will be revisiting this when we cover the Parichaya syllabus. If in case Vyoma decides to do a course on Parichaya also, then we will cover it. At this point of time, I would request you to just memorize the time as it is. Right? I think that should answer the question. Any other queries as far as time is concerned? Otherwise, we will move ahead. Okay. So, Samayaha. Yeah, what is the next question? Kindly explain why do we say the R and then that is the standard format, not just in Sanskritam. I think most of the Indian languages, that's how we say it, isn't it, Vatsalaji? The R and the minutes, yeah. So we don't say the R and the minutes. We're saying the minutes and then the R. You look at the a page. We are not saying the R and the minutes. We are saying the minutes and the R. Yeah. So anonymous attendee, could you kindly type your name, please, on the chat, because I don't understand anonymous attendee. Priyanka ji, if you know numbers, that's how you will have to write it. Yeah, I'll just come to that. Yeah, I would request you to kindly write your name because I don't know what. Just give me a minute, please. Sorry. Change over. So this is what we covered. Now we will go to the time. Vatsalaji, we are covering in the class. It may take a very long time. We have had a very long and detailed exercise on time. So let's do that. So let's look at the time. Okay. Who's raised hands? Yeah. So there is this thing. Yeah. Date of birth. Yeah. You will see. Priyanka ji has asked a question. How do you write date of birth? Now, before we start that, let me just quickly tell you. Time was the concept of time in Indian in the Indian culture is very different from the Western measurement of time. Okay. If you see, the Indian calendar is very different. How we read months is very different in India as compared to in the Western world, or what we in the modern world, how time and months are read is very different. So if you want to write your date of birth using the Western concept of time, and then just use the Sanskrita Bhasha, then you will have to write January as January in Devanagari Lipi. That's all. But if you want to go by the Indian calendar, then that comes under Jyotish Shastra. You have to follow the Panchanga system of time, which is very, very different. So that we will not cover in Pravesha. It's certainly clearly out of scope. That comes under Jyotish Shastra. Mathematics, time measurement, etc. comes under Jyotish Shastra. So I won't get into details there, but you all know when in India, especially when a child is born, the tithi and the name and all that, you call a priest to kind of give you the kundali, right? The time of the child's birth is written very differently. So that's the nomenclature. Yeah. So you can't really merge it, which is why AM and PM, somebody's asked a question, how do I write AM and PM? AM and PM is a Western concept. So taking that and writing in Sanskrit is clearly not logical. So usually in ancient India, okay, a muhurtam is 42 minutes. Okay. So when you say muhurat or muhurtam, it is actually a very clear definition. 42 minutes make one muhurtam. Point number one. Okay. Point number two, 24 hours of the day. So a day is called hora. Hora is an akaranta strilinga padam, from which the Latin word hora came, from where the English word hour has come. H-O-U-R-R comes from hora. Hora is a Sanskrit word. Okay. Hora, akaranta strilinga padam. Fine. So a 24-hour duration was divided into 8. Okay. Out of these 8 divisions, 5 divisions were accorded to day and 3 divisions were accorded to night. Okay. The division was equal. So if you were to divide 24 by 8, I think you get a 6-hour time, right? 6 hours, every 6 hours. Okay. During day, what is day? When the sun is out. Yeah. So sunlight, the period of sunlight, these divisions were called prahara. From where you get this Hindi word peher. So when you say do peher in Hindi, it means two praharas have passed, which means 6 plus 6, 12 hours have passed after the sun has risen, which is why it's 12 o'clock is noon, even in the Western concept of time. So when you say do peher, it means 2 praharas after sunrise. Yeah. Then night divisions of 3 were called yamas. That is why the night is called yamini. Right? So yamini comes because there are 3 yamas which make up for night time and 5 praharas which make up for daytime. So when time was read, the praharas were also told. Okay. If you want to merge the Western division of time, like 5:15, 10 a.m., etc., and you want to also say it in Sanskrit, one of the ways you could probably do is Purvanha and Aparanha or Paranha. So Purva means earlier part of the day. So probably AM you could say as Purva, and for PM you could say Apara, that is afterwards. Yeah. So Purvanha is like the first half of the day, and Aparanha could be the. So Anha means day. From where you get this word Saptaha. Sapta-ahaha. 7 days is Saptaha. That is the meaning of the word Saptaha, which refers to a week. Okay. So if you really want to use AM and PM, you could probably say Purvanha and Aparanha. But otherwise, it is certainly a challenge merging the two, because the calculations of time are far more precise in this thing. See, Ganeshopadhyaya is what is written in your textbook, Dwarkanaji. So I would, if you could send us a mail, I will probably have the Vyoma team check about it. But if you look at your textbook, it says Ganeshopadhyaya and not Gangeshopadhyaya. So even I really don't know, because it's not a Shastra that I have ever visited, but I could definitely check and come back to you on it. Yeah. So let's go back to the questions. I think I've answered most of them. So Dwarkanath Reddy says that it is Gangeshopadhyaya and not Ganeshopadhyaya who has written this Tattva Chintamani. Even I don't know about it. So what I will probably do is I will check out, I will probably have to ask somebody. I'll ask somebody within Vyoma and I'll come back to you, and I'm not aware of it. Yeah. Let's move forward. So yeah, can somebody come forward to answer these questions? Yeah. Urmila Mahendra Babu.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening. So we can take two units of time and do the Abhyasa, if that's okay with you.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. 5:15.
5:15 is Sapada Panchavadanam.
Sapada Panchavadanam. Samyak. Next one.
2:12. Dvadashadika Dvivadanam.
Yeah. Oh, why did I write Shadvadanam? Sorry. It is Dvivadanam. 1 second. Yeah. Dvivadanam. Dvadashadika Dvivadanam. Samyak.
Dvivadanam.
Yeah. Samyak.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kindly mute yourself. You may probably, okay. Yeah. I just mentioned about Telugu Pravesha book Tattva Chintamani is written by Gageshopadhyaya. Let me check this. Sometimes there are these differences. Let me please check and come back to you whether it is Ganeshopadhyaya or Gangeshopadhyaya. Because it's not a, like I said, I'll just check and come back to you. 6:18. Who's answering? Yeah. I'll first look at people who haven't attempted so far, and then we will move forward if you don't mind. Shivakami. Shivakami ji. I've requested you to unmute.
Namaste.
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 6:18. Namaste.
Ashtadashadika Shadvadanam.
Samyak. Ashtadashadika Shadvadanam. 1:30.
Sardha Ekavadanam.
Sardha Ekavadanam. Usually when you write it as a Samasta Padam, you write Sardhaika Vadanam, but at Pravesha, you are not expected to know it. I'm just giving it to you as an additional advantage, as an additional information. Sardha Eka Vadanam is perfectly correct. Yeah. Thank you, Shivakami ji. Kindly mute yourself. We'll move to the next one. Kindly mute yourself, please. Srilata Mittapalli. Srilata ji.
Namaste, ma'am.
Namaste. 3:14.
Chaturdashadika Trivadanam.
Chaturdashadhika Trivadanam. Good. 8:30.
Sardha Ashtavadanam.
Sardha Ashtavadanam. So you can write Sardha Ashtavadanam together, or ideally you can write it with a hyphen. Okay. you can also write Sardha-ashtavadanam. That is actually the right way of writing it. But if you write it as Sardha-ashtavadanam separately, all of it will give you marks. Right? Dhanyavadaha. Kindly mute yourself, please. Next one. Amutta Ram. Amutta ji. Yeah, Amutta ji, I'm not able to hear you. Amutta ji, Amutta Ram, I'm not able to hear you. You want to try logging out and logging in again and see? Maybe it might just work. Yeah? I'm not able to hear you. I think there's some technical issue. Vatsala ji?
Finally, I got it. Hello.
There are many enthusiastic students in the class, so we work as a team, right?
No, thank you so much, because I was so desperate. I said I should want to talk to you first and then put my, but then it seems
so let's do the exercise first and then we'll speak. That will be a better way of doing it. 9:45.
9 is Navavarsha. Navavarsha.
Is it Varsha? 1 second. What is Varsha?
Varsha is year.
What are we reading right now?
Time.
Time. So, while reading time, do you need to mention year?
Navavadanam.
Is it Navavadanam? It is 9:45.
So 45 will be.
How do you say the time? What is your mother tongue, if I may ask, Vatsala ji?
Tamil.
Tamil. So how do you say the time in Tamil? 9:45?
9:45.
9:45. So that mukkal is there, right?
Yeah.
So then how would you say it?
Panchashatvarimsat Navavadanam.
Yeah, easy thing is, it is 9:45, right? Is it not 9:45?
Yeah.
So try attempting it like that.
Padona.
What is 10? 9:45. What is 10?
10 is Dasha. So Padona Dasha.
Vadanam.
Dashavadanam. Oh, okay.
That's easier, no? Padona Dashavadanam is easier. Okay. You are not wrong. When you say Panchachatvarimshatadhika, you have to mention Adhika. 45 minutes more than 9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Pancha Chatvarimshat Adhika Navavadanam. Or you say Padona Dashavadanam. You tell me which is easier.
I think Padona Dashavadanam is easier.
Isn't it? Exactly. And that's how we say it even in English, isn't it? Next one.
Next one is 10:19. So 19 is Navadasha. So 10 is 10 past 19 past 10. So 10 is Dasha. Dashavadanam.
But this is 19 more than 10. So what is the word? The word is Adhika.
Adhika. Okay.
We just did it in class, no? I just showed you on the slide, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what will you say?
Navadasha Adhika Dashavadanam.
Samyak. Navadasha Adhika Dashavadanam. Another way, see, whenever you have one less than the previous number, because that system is there even in Marathi and in Hindi also. Okay? Marathi and Hindi also. So, suppose 20 is B's. Okay? 19 would be Ekonis.
One less.
One less. Okay? So, same way, Ekona Vimshati means 19. So you can write 19 as Navadasha or Ekona Vimshati. Eka Una Vimshati. One less than 20.
Okay.
Even in Marathi you have that. Ekonis vis.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Okay.
ekona vimshati adhika dashavadanam.
Okay.
The dashavadanam stays,
Ah.
but the 19 can be written either as navadashadika, which is what you said, which is perfectly right. You can also say it as ekona vimshati adhika.
Okay.
It's not ekona with a double na. It should be ekona with a single na.
Ekona vimshati.
And if the double na come, I have to figure out.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, you had any queries? You were saying you wanted to speak, etc.
No, because I was not getting the way to put the words correctly. I wanted to know how
It
to
will come
pronounce
with
them.
practice only,
How to pronounce them, I
Vatsalaji.
was not clear.
Yeah, it will come with practice. I believe there are a whole lot of study groups that are there in Pravesha, right? All of you are
I
studying
could not
together.
get onto the Telegram group, so that's why I want to know.
There is no group on Telegram at all. The group is on WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Okay, I thought it was on Telegram.
It is not on Telegram. I mean, this conversation has been going on. Write a mail and I'll send you the link.
Can I have your email ID, madam, please?
My email ID would be there in the group. It is there at the end of the class in the last screen. I think it is Sudha Srikant.vyoma@gmail.com.
Okay.
My name is SUDHASRIKANT. It would be there in all the PPTs that are being shared. My email ID would be there.
Okay.
You've been going through the PPTs that have been uploaded on the website?
Yeah.
So the last two slides, the last but one slide would ideally be having the email ID.
Okay.
Even if you don't write to me one-on-one and you put a mail to Vyoma team, we will still respond to you. It will come to me, not a problem.
Okay.
So Sudha Srikant.Srikant is my second name. .vyoma@gmail.com. Just send a mail and I will send you the link because I really can't remember the link. I'll just copy paste it and I'll send it to you. So whoever else is saying that they're not able to have the WhatsApp link, please send a mail and I will be able to send it one-on-one. Thank you, Vatsalaji. Kindly mute yourself, please.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kindly mute yourself. We'll try and finish this exercise. Probably the next ones we'll do next week. Priya Bhagini. Priyaji.
Panchadika Saptavadanam.
Panchadika Saptavadanam. Samyak. Next one.
Dasha Una Dwadasha Vadanam. No,
Dasha.
Sorry. Dasha
Una.
No, Ekavadanam.
Ekavadanam. Dasha Una Ekavadanam. Or Panchashat Adhika Dwadashavadanam.
Okay, ma'am.
I mean, it's the same. We've all learned time in school. Logic is the same.
Correct.
Just the language is different. Dhanyavada. Kindly mute yourself. This is an important concept, okay? Time will be 99% asked in the exam. Narayanan Mahoday. Narayanan Mahoday, I've requested you to unmute.
Yeah, namaskaram.
I'm hearing you very faintly. Yeah.
Okay. Namaskar, you can hear me now? Very faint.
Yeah, 11:45.
Padona Dwadasha Vadanam.
Samyak. Padona Dwadasha Vadanam. If you want to really write it as Pancha Chatvarimshat, go ahead, but this is easier. Next one.
Navadika Chaturvadanam.
Navadhika Chaturvadanam. So, Nava Adhika Chaturvadanam. Samyak. Kindly mute yourself, please. No, we don't have this concept of Mukkal in Sanskritam. 3 kals is Mukkal. No, that is not there. It is Pada only. So you can't say Tripada is really not a practice, Krishnan Mahoday. That practice is not there. Yeah. So in that sense, modern Sanskritam, you just have Padona and Sapada. So with these 3, Sardha, Padona, Sapada, we have to kind of manage with that. There are not too many permutations and combinations are there. Yeah, anybody else who hasn't attempted would like to kindly attempt? Yeah, Raghavendra Gopalakrishnan. Raghavendra Mahoday, I've requested you to unmute.
Yeah. Sapada Dwadasha Vadanam.
Sapada Dwadasha Vadanam. Next one.
Pancha
This is tricky.
Una.
This is tricky.
Pancha Una Sardha Navavadanam.
No, that's creative, but you wouldn't write it like that. Panchauna Sardha, no. You will have to say 25.
Okay. Panchavimshati Navavadanam.
Panchavimshati Adhika. Please do not forget to write Adhika.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah, if you don't write the word Adhika, then it's like wrong. You will lose that half mark. As it is, it will be half mark each time. So you will unnecessarily lose your mark. You'll get it as wrong. So Adhika necessarily has to be mentioned. Reason is because there is an una. Like for example, this was, if it was say 9:55, you would have written as Panchona Dashavadanam, right?
Correct.
So because of that, this Adhika needs to be written. Otherwise, somebody will say, I presume that it is una.
Okay, got it.
So you need to write that. So Panchavimshati hyphen Adhika hyphen Navavadanam is perfectly accepted. I have just written Panchavimshatyadhika. I have used the Sandhikaryam and put the Yakara. You need not struggle with it. You can write Panchavimshati. Don't put the Visarga. Panchavimshati hyphen Adhika hyphen Navavadanam accepted. Right? Dhanyavadaha Raghavendraji. Let me just move forward. I'll take questions in a bit. Let's finish the exercise first. Padmavati ji.
320 Vimshatyadhika Trivadanam.
Samyak. Vimshatyadhika Trivadanam. Next one.
Trivimshatyadhika Ashtavadanam.
Is it Trivimshati?
Or
23. Numbers are very, very important. Start memorizing. Start memorizing before other things come and clutter our brain. Please.
Trayavimshatyad.
Na. Trayovimshati.
Trayovimshatyadhika Ashtavadanam.
This, see, 3. So 23, 33, 43, 53, 63. These are difficult numbers. Okay. Yes. Shat is difficult number. Dvi is difficult number like 22, 32, 42. I mean, these are the things I'm just giving you, that these are the places where you'll find it difficult during memorizing. There will be. Then Ashta also, sometimes there are changes. Certain places is Ashta, certain places it is Ashta. So these are the numbers that you need to take care of. While memorizing numbers, no shortcut to memorizing numbers, you have to memorize. Absolutely no option. Start writing 10 numbers every day. By the time you reach the exam, you will remember.
Thank you so much.
Trayovimshatyadhika Ashtavadanam. Dhanyavadaha. We move to the next one quickly. Kindly mute yourself, Padmavati ji. Geeta ji.
Beginning. 445. Padona Panchavadanam.
Padona Panchavadanam. Next one.
710. Dashadikam Saptavadanam.
Samyak. Dhanyavadaha.
Dhanyavadaha, Bini.
Kindly mute yourself. Yeah. Sarita ji.
Namaskar.
Namaskara. Next one.
Padona Navavadanam.
Padona Navavadanam. Next one.
Sardha Dashvadanam.
Dasha. So all your pronunciations, you need to give that akara consciously.
Okay.
It's there. It happens. The influence of our native language will always be there. We need to try to consciously work.
I'll try to take care of it.
Sardha Dasha Vadanam. Because Dash and Dasha meaning is different.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
That's a problem. Yeah. So we will stop here because the other exercises are a little long and there are 2 full exercises. We won't be able to finish it. So I will just take a few questions before closing the day. Okay, we will see this. Yeah. Dasha Una is Dashona. You're right. Chayaji has asked a question. If Dasha Una is said as Dashona, yes. Dasha Una is Dashona. Okay. I think all the other questions we've answered. There's nothing really else that is this thing. Only this Gangesh Upadhyaya I will check because even I have no clue. You're saying Telugu is also saying Gangesh Upadhyaya and Hindi is also saying Gangesh Upadhyaya. So maybe there is something that we will have to check. We will check and probably somebody will also check with the, we'll have to ask some subject matter expert. We will do that. In Vyoma, there'll be somebody who will know it. Let me just answer that. So we close the class today with this. There are 2 more exercises on Samaya, right, to be done. 8, 9 and 10. So we will do that. These are very important concepts, this 8, 9 and 10. So we will do that in the next class. And I will try and put some other extra practice exercises on Parasmaya and Atmane because I think tomorrow Brindaji is not taking the class. If you all remember, you would have got the notice that Brindaji is not having class tomorrow. So next Saturday, we will complete this exercise and try and revise your either your numbers or Parasmaya Atmane, one of the 2, or maybe I'll give you a combination of both. Okay, we will revise some numbers and we will revise some Parasmaya and Atmanepadi concepts also. Okay, we will do that. We close the class today with the Shanti Mantra. Yes, please.
Actually, in Alankara Shastra and Vyakarana Shastra, in the class we have seen only 3 books. But in the Telugu
these are the main ones. There are many books. Trust me.
No. In the textbook, they were 5 each. So I was asking, just like we have to by heart only those 3, or we have to by heart the other 2
which textbook 5 is given?
Pravesha Telugu book.
Then please memorize it because I'm presuming that you will answer your paper in Telugu.
Okay, if I answer it in English, can I go with 3?
No, if you are referring to, see, I'll tell you what, Shilata ji, the thing is, Samskriта Bharati chapters individually conduct these Pravesha exams, which is why the timing of Pravesha exam is also different in different regions. So if you are corresponding with your Hyderabad chapter, and if your question paper is coming from there, then they will refer to the Telugu textbook only. You're just memorizing 2 more. How does it really matter?
Yeah. No, I've already memorized them, but I'm just asking.
Yeah. Now, once it's gone inside your memory, don't delete it. So there are discrepancies, like even this Mahabharata Parvas, no, it's not there in the English Sanskrit textbook, but it is there in the other regional languages. So we will cover it when we learn Mahabharata. We will do that 18 Parvas, we will do it. So there are regional differences in the textbook slightly, though content is more or less the same. Small differences are there. If you are corresponding with your your individual chapters, you go by what is written in your book. This is my suggestion.
Thank you.
Dhanyavadaha. Let's just finish the closing prayer and then we will probably see how it goes as far as questions are concerned. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Dhanyavadaha. So this is these are the emails at which you can write to us. Somebody was asking for email IDs. My email ID is sudhashrikant.vyoma@gmail.com. Yeah. What are the other this thing? Chatwa, do we have a clock? No, you don't have to draw a clock to show time, Vatsalaji. No. Tattva Chintamani Vivechanam by Gangeshopadhyaya with a new commentary by Paramahansa Sri Chandrasekhara Bharati Swami. So probably then that there is a Ganeshopadhyaya and there is a Gangeshopadhyaya. Maybe there are two people. And maybe if you're saying it's a new commentary by Paramahansa Chandrasekhara Bharati Swami in Sanskrit, then this is a new this thing. This is not the ancient. See, in Shastras there are a lot of modern age authors also who are writing commentaries. So if it is those, then definitely that will not be added. Probably, could be. Yeah. So we close the class with this. Dhanyavada. See you next Saturday. Tomorrow there's no class.